Thank you.
There you go.
There we go. All right, so we're going to do the honeycomb today, which showcases the high heat function. So for those of you that don't have a TM6, this is a new feature. So we're going to be talking about high sugar heat work. So making your toffees, your caramels, and also your browning. So I'll just get it started. So I'll bring you over to my machine. And we've got the honeycomb up here. I will show you a bit later on how to go through to find these recipes. But we're just going to press here, start cooking. Now, it does come up saying we need to use with the high heat function, and this is the same when you're doing the browning of your onions, the browning of your meats and things like that. You do need to use the exact amount that they say just to get the best out of the actual function that you're using. So that's what this screen just says here, just that you need to use the exact amount. Okay, so it's asked me to line a baking tray with baking paper. So when you're cooking with the Thermomix, it is guided. So we're just hitting next. It's telling me what to do. So line a baking tray with baking paper and place on a high heat resistant surface, and have 1 to 2 tablespoons of baking soda before the cooking time ends. Now, I will say with regards to that, make sure that when you do that, you get any lumps out, because if you have lumps in your honeycomb, biting into some bicarb soda isn't very nice. So just make sure that you do get all the lumps out before you put it in there, and you do have to act quite quickly. So as soon as it stops cooking, you add it in. So have it ready to go. So we'll go back to Thermi. All right, so we're going to put 300 grams of white sugar or brown sugar. So we've got the inbuilt scales here. So we just set them back to 0. And we're going to put the sugar in. This is not one recipe if you're worried about the waistline or the teeth, but you know, moderation is always the key. Then 80 grams of water. So I've used my MC. So this is really good for doing when you just need a little bit, because these won't actually, you can put 100 grams in. So I've just filled just enough. So it's about 80 grams, 79, good enough. Now 79 grams. So the difference between the other machines is that the TM6 weighs in 1 gram increments. So it's ultra precise, really fantastic. And then we've got 20 grams of honey. So we'll pop that in. Now I think my sister-in-law is actually on today, and she has a beehive in her backyard. So normally I have her amazing honey, but I've used this one today. So it does depend. If you don't like the honey, don't use it, because it will flavour to the honey taste, or you can use golden syrup. So without your measuring cup, we're going to turn it so it's already set the time for us. It's on the max temperature and we're doing sugar. So all we need to do is just turn the dial. So that's going to caramelize, and it's going to go for about 22 minutes. Whilst that's cooking, we're going to head over to Jane's kitchen, and she's going to show us, I think, to start with the taco seasoning. So over to Jane.
Hi. Hi everyone. Yes, so I'm doing taco seasoning. Now, what I love about all the spice and seasoning mixes on the cookie dough is that it makes enough quantity that you can, you know, it's bulk quantity, you can store it, and you've got it on hand for later uses and for other recipes. So I'm going to make the taco seasoning, and then later I will use that taco seasoning in a Tex-Mex chicken soup. So let's get started. So it's just a cookie dough straight up. Taco seasoning is what it's called. And we're going to say start cooking, and we're going to add the chili powder. Now, obviously, depending on what your heat levels are like in your family with cooking, you can this is a guide. You can make it to suit your taste. You can always add more chili in the in the end product. So like for me, for the soup later, if you're making a you know, a chili con carne or something. So I'll go on the lower side of this, if I can get it out. I'm sorry. So it does say 20 to 40. I'm going to just go 20 or just whatever's left in my thingo. There we go. All right. Because it does call for chili later at the end as well. So the garlic powder, it is a tablespoon and a quarter. Put that in. Onion powder, it is a tablespoon. Oops, sorry, we're just throwing it in literally. Oregano, that is fresh oregano that I've dried. It's out of my neighbour's garden. 2 tablespoons of paprika. So we'll just put that in. And cumin seeds. So I was using the whole seeds because it is going to mill and make it a really smooth, dry seasoning mix. So you can use the whole seed. So put in our salt. Click next. Now the dried chili, you know what? I may not put it in for me because of my family, you know, with the kids, but it is optional and you can add it in there as well. And I will put the black peppercorns in. So, I mean, once you make it once, you can always add more to it. If you've made something that wasn't quite, you know, spicy enough or something, you can always chuck it back in later and add more to it. So just turn it to 10 for 1 minute.
Okay, so that's blitzing up now, Jane. And as she was talking about the fact that you've got your beautiful fresh spices there and everything, I don't know, there are some taco spices out there. If you've had a look on the back of the packet, I don't know a lot of the ingredients. So for those that are interested in health, that's a big game changer when you're blitzing your own spices, and the smell and the taste are so much better and fresher. And then you've got the saving option. So for those that are interested in money, as soon as you get a Thermomix, you're saving money instantly because you're not buying all this packet food that's prepared. And you're not, you know, you'll find that you may be limiting your takeaway options as well. You know, you've got your taco spices, you've got your Indian spices. Think of all those takeaway nights for a family of 4 or 6 or however many it may be. If you're making it at home, it's a lot cheaper. Is that done, Jane?
Yes, we're done. So now that has just made, oh my God, it looks amazing. Okay, here we go. Oh, Eddie.
Wow.
Whoa, I just, you know, the sort of the fumes, the dry dust fumes, it just came up. Just it took my breath away for a minute. So I'm just going to decant that into a jar. Now, what I love also about, you know, the lid of the Thermomix is that I can sit it on top of my jar and use it like a funnel, I guess. And so I should really, oh my God, I am flicking chili powder everywhere. Oh, that's all right. Okay, so I'm just
not all right when you get chili powder in, right?
Pippi, you are on loudspeaker. That is my daughter in the background.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, this is the beauty about, yeah, just real life kitchens.
It also
Cooking,
smells
you know, dog crying in background and cooking. So there you go. So I'm using the lid to just push in. You probably can't see that, but I've just filled the jar using that. All right, now we're going to move on to the next step. Now, I'm actually not going to bother about washing the bowl. I don't think, you know, all the kids aren't going to like this anyway, so I think it'll be more a recipe for my husband and I. So I'm going to take the lazy option and just continue on. So, all right, so I've pulled up the Tex-Mex chicken soup and I'm going to start cooking. So it is asking for my aroma, which I didn't pull out.
That's okay. What I love about this, Jane, is it just shows how, you know, being a consultant for Thermomix, 1, we can work in lockdown, and 2, we can work with our families at home, It's very cool. It's all very real. And, you know, you're making food for your family, but you're working at the same time, which is really cool.
Oh, that's it. And what you can turn out in such a short period of time is so quick and easy. So I've just chopped the chicken. I'm just putting it in the varoma, you know, just like that. What it really is doing is it's just going to be a container for the chicken to sort of mix with, combined with the taco spice. So it's a tablespoon of the taco spice that we've just made. So we'll put that in. And then we're just going to give that a quick mix so it coats all those chicken pieces in there. All right. And now it is, we're going to set that aside. So sorry about the noise in the background. So we'll set that aside and just get rid of that over there. And we'll move on to our next step. So it's 80 grams of onions. There we go, close enough, good enough. And 1 garlic clove goes in. Half or 1 to 2 jalapeno peppers. Again, depends on what your spice levels are like in your family. I'm using 1. I've taken the seeds out. And I'm using 20 grams of olive oil. So we'll just put that in. There we go. And now we'll put the measuring cup back on. And click next. And it's speed 5, 3 seconds. And that's sort of just going to make a bit of a paste. I'll be right back.
How quick was that?
So quick. Yeah, it's asked me to scrape down the sides. God, that looks so good. I'll just see what the next. Okay.
Can you show us, Jane?
So that's just chopped up, and then I'm going to saute that. So I'll probably hand back to Kirsten, and I'll come back, after it's been sauteed. See you soon.
Okay, so back to my kitchen, different angle. I'm just waiting for the honeycomb to finish, but whilst that's happening, I'm going to start on the creamy salami fettuccine. So this particular dish is great because it's a one-pot wonder. You can make it vegetarian if you like. You can use any pasta that you like. I'm doing the fettuccine today. However, the kids normally have penne, but I thought this is better for you to see. So I'm just going to turn the camera around and we're going to start cooking. So here's the other Thermomix and we will just go to the main. So I'll just go home. And I'm going to go into my week because I've programmed this. You can program everything. So everything you see today is what we're cooking today. So we're going creamy tomato and salami fettuccine. And I'm actually going to go, for those of you that have a Thermomix already, I'm in the middle of this, but if you want to go to a particular step, so I want to go to the start again. So you just hold your finger down and it will take you to that step. So hopefully I've taught some people something there. So we're going to grate our Parmesan cheese. So here we have blocked Parmesan cheese. Talking about the health benefits before, when you purchase the shredded cheese, it's actually more expensive and it's got the caking agents or anti-caking agents on it. So if you buy it in block, you're, missing out on those additives. So 50 to 100 grams, I'm going to pop in a little bit more than that because my family are Parmesan addicts and we eat it with everything. So now I'm going to hit next. It tells us to put the lid on and we're going to go for 10 seconds and I'm going to turn that into a lovely grated cheese. So watch this. So just 10 seconds. Okay, so now it's telling me to transfer it. Let me show you. For those that don't have a Thermomix, look at that. Now, I bet you can't do that on a grater that quick. Imagine how long that would take. Forever. So, you can do your carrots. Obviously, you don't want to do them fine like that, but you can grate anything in your Thermomix and do it super quick. But at the moment, we have a special, and I'm just going to show you. So it says here, transfer into a bowl and set aside. Clean and dry mixing bowl. For those of you that have a Thermomix, you know that that can be quite annoying, especially when you're in a rush. Up until Tuesday at 11 o'clock, we do have a purchase offer, which has been our favourite whenever it comes up. It's rare that it comes up, but it does come up. It's finishing on Tuesday. So you can actually get a second bowl. So you don't have to wash and dry this. You just get your second bowl and pop it on and continue with your recipe. So the second bowl purchase offer is $99. The bowls are normally $3.75. So if you are considering a Thermomix, now is the time if you want that second bowl to purchase. So reach out to your consultant straight away and let them know. So we've done our beautiful fluffy parmesan, and we've cleaned and dried our mixing bowl, and we're going to do basically what Jane just did. So we'll pop in half an onion. So I've got it there. We've got garlic. Now, guided cooking once again. So you do what you want for your family. We love garlic. So it says 1, I'm doing 3. Why not? We're not going out anywhere, so no one's going to worry about the smell, are they? We've got flat leaf parsley. I've got curly leaf. And notice all these, I just want you to take notice of all these fresh ingredients that are going in. Now, when we're prepping with our Thermomix, I haven't done much prepping at all. So sort of these are the sizes, zucchini cut into 4, you know, your carrots sort of cut like that. So the time factor of cutting all these up is saved as well. What else have we got? Oh, so we're putting that in, popping the lid on, hitting next, just following the bouncing ball, and we're going to turn speed selector to speed 7. So that's just going to chop for 3 seconds. I could hear that that was done well before 3 seconds. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. Don't really need to do that, but I'll just show you. I can smell the garlic and the parsley and the onion. Yum. There we go. And then we've got half a red capsicum. Can you see I don't follow rules very often? I don't have red capsicum, so I'm doing green. So we'll pop that in. And we'll hit next. The zucchini, popping that in. And you know what? I love hiding veggies, and that's the best thing with the Thermomix. You can do that quite a lot. So I'm putting carrot in because I feel like it. So we'll pop it all in. Hit next, and we're going to chop that again as well. So turn around to speed 5. Okay, scrape down the sides if you want to. I'm a bit slack, I don't. Actually, I will this time. Haven't got my spatula. There we go. So you can see it's all nicely chopped, and it was super, super quick. And I do this also when I'm doing things like spag bowl, you know, the prep. It just makes everything so much quicker, so much quicker. Okay, so then recipe calls for 30 to 50 grams of olive oil. So we're just going to pop that in like so. You've got your inbuilt scales going up here. So we're going to do whatever it ends up being. There we go, 40. And we are going to pop the lid on. And as Jane, exactly as her. So that's going to saute for 3 minutes at 120 degrees. So I've just turned that on. So this is where you imagine yourself when we talk about, you know, the Thermomix does a lot for you. So those that love cooking, you know, it can be your apprentice. Those that hate cooking, it's great because you can walk away now, and instead of standing over the fry pan with the onion and the garlic and everything, stirring it, moving it around, this is doing it for you. So it's either your best friend and it does stuff while you do amazing stuff in the kitchen, or it can do everything for you. So that's where the Thermomix is awesome. And I think Jane should be finished now and up to the next stage. So we're going to go over to her kitchen.
Hi, thanks. Yep, and I'm back. So just while Kirsten was cooking, I sort of just, and while that was sauteing, I used the 3 dots at the top to go back and look at my recipe details just to see if there was anything that, you know, I need to know ahead of time. So if you do do that, or you've started a recipe, you know, yesterday and you're coming back, you can go and look at your recipe, and in the preparation step, you can just click on the step that you're up to next, and it will take you straight to that. So if there are, you know, 20 steps and you've already done the first 10, you can just go scroll to 11, click on it, and it will take you straight to that 11th step, and you start your cooking there rather than clicking next 10 times. So just a little tip there. So it's asking for 150 grams of chopped capsicum. I just chopped it quickly, put that in. A tin of tomatoes. So put that in. 1 tablespoon of chicken stock. I'm just using the last of my homemade chicken stock, which I'm almost out of. So I am going to just top that up with homemade veggie stock as well. It's just, you know, it won't matter for this. And even if you didn't have chicken stock and you had your homemade veggie stock, just substitute that for it. So put that in, and we're going to add 650 mils of water. There we go. And we're going to add some more of our taco seasoning. So 1/2 tablespoon. I think I'm just going to do 1/2 tablespoon, because we do have our chicken that's been coated with our taco seasoning as well. And I haven't used this recipe before, so I'm not sure just what the spice levels will be. So we've put that in, and that is forming our soup base. And then we're putting our aroma on top. That's got our chicken in it from earlier. Click next, and that's going to cook for 20 minutes on aroma, and we'll see how it turns out. So back to Kirsten.
Back to me. Here I am. Okay. And that was perfect timing, because you can hear the Thermomix going. So we're going to go next. And 400 grams of Roma tomatoes. Now, I'm lazy. I just do a can. I know it works, so I'm putting it in. So there you go. We'll just put that back to 0. And we're popping the can in. And then 300 grams of water. And 200 grams of cream. So let's pop that in. I am adding more because it's at the end. Why not? A little bit of extra cream doesn't hurt anyone. Okay. And 1 tablespoon of the vegetable stock paste. Now, this is actually, we love the vegetable stock paste. And when we, so here's mine. When we deliver a machine, whether it be via Zoom for those Melbourneites at the moment, or if it is in person, we actually make the veggie stock paste with you. The reason why we do that is it shows you the heating functions, it shows you the chopping functions, blitzing, all of that sort of stuff. And a lot of our recipes call for it. Here's a tip. If a recipe asks for salt, just use a teaspoon of your veggie stock paste. The reason why I say that is it's got the salt in it, but it's also got that massive flavour boost. And you can use whatever you want in your stock. You don't have to follow the recipe. You can always put, you know, any leftover vegetables or herbs that you have in it, as long as they're not going to alter it too much, like fennel or something. But yeah, you can put whatever you want in there. So love the stock paste. Let's go. So, and now we're going to put the lid on and hit next. And that's going to cook for 10 minutes. Now you can override anything as well. If I wanted to, I could go, yeah, let's change that to 12 minutes, but we're not. We're going to put it back down to 10. But we can see here that it's going to get to 100 degrees and we just need to turn the dial again. So we'll just do that. Now, I am going to just put you here because I think the honeycomb is about ready to come out. So I haven't been standing over a stove stirring at all, which if you have ever made honeycomb yourself without a Thermomix, you'd know that it's quite a laborious task. So we've got that 2 minutes off. So what I will do is I'm going to show you our thermo serves. So these are a demo driven, so a cooking experience. You can get these heavily discounted if you have like one of these. Bring 2 mates along and you can get one discounted. If someone purchases that you have invited, you can actually get these for free. What are they? They are double layered bowl, and they keep things hot, piping hot, for about 2 hours. And on the reverse, they also keep things really cool. So what I do, if I'm doing a demonstration sometimes and I might be making a sorbet or something like that, I want to put all my ice in there, I'll put my ice in there and keep it nice and cold, and I can take it to the demonstration. If you've already got one of these ones are really good too, guys, for your spaghetti, because you can put your spaghetti lengthways in there, put the boiling water on, pop the lid on and cook your spaghetti like that. But if you've already got one of these and you're thinking you do want to collect something else out of the host rewards, we've also got this one, which is a favorite of mine, which is the white thermoserve. So speak to your consultant about how to get your hands on one of these, but this is great for cooking yogurt. I love it. I also use it for serving salads as well because I think it's pretty on the table. But it fits into your Varoma. So we have the fermenting mode where you can make your own yogurt overnight. You just follow the recipe, pop it in there and put it in your Varoma, and overnight it will cook perfectly for you. You pop it in the fridge and then it's ready within about 4 hours for you to eat. So that's really cool as well. So that is another host reward. So let's have a look. Yes, it's about to be ready, 16. So we'll hear this countdown. And I'm just waiting for it to finish and checking out who we're going to after my stuff. We're going to Wendy, I think. All right, so next. So I will show you right here. We have toffee that I don't want to spill everywhere. That would be good. So we pop in the 2 tablespoons and give it a quick stir. And as you can see, our honeycomb is getting bigger and bigger by the second. I've got the kids watching. So there we go. Say hi, girls, if you want. Okay, so look at that. How easy is that for honeycomb? Now, pre-clean mode, very important with this one. We do not want hard toffee on our Thermomix bowl. So we now have a pre-clean mode where your Thermomix will clean itself for you. So what we do now is we just pop in some detergent and pop it back onto the Thermomix and put it on the browning function, and that will clean it for you, because otherwise this is all going to, you can imagine, as soon as it hardens up, it's going to all stick to the bowl. And if you didn't have the pre-clean mode and you just let that sit there, it would be a nightmare to get off, absolute nightmare. So you can see it's already drying. You do have to work quickly, guys, but let me show you, and I'll show you at the end once it's cooled down and I can crack into it. But look at that. Beautiful. I'm so excited. I can't wait for that. So that's it for that. I think now we are off to, I haven't got my run sheet in front of me, but I think we're off to Wendy now. Is that right?
Yep. Hi guys. Oh, am I on a mute? Can you hear me?
No, you're right.
We can hear you.
All good. All right. I'm going to do a new booster drink for you today, just with this horrible weather and because we're in lockdown and need a little bit more vitamin C than normal. Basically, we're cooking with lemons, ginger and honey. I'm just turning on the machine. Sorry, it went on sleep mode. And basically it's all fresh ingredients. So there's no hidden sugars. The only sugar is probably the honey that we've got going in here. So I'm just searching on Cookadoo, going to my week and clicking on the immune booster and start cooking. So we need 2 lemons peeled with the white place removed and pits removed. And we're just going to follow the instructions and pop that one in. I did pre-weigh the ginger before. So again, 20 grams of fresh ginger. It doesn't matter if it does say cut into small pieces. I haven't done that, that's fine. And 4 tablespoons of honey. A little bit sticky there. 200 grams of water chilled. Now I'm just going to cancel the tear and measure this as we go because I haven't pre-weighed this. Again, it doesn't matter if you go a little bit over. And press next. Oh, I missed it. So we're going to put the lid and the measuring cup back on. And it will be 1 minute on speed 10. So it is going to be a bit noisy.
Okay, so as you can see, Wendy is now blitzing that. So with the Thermomix, you can make amazing juices, you can make amazing smoothies, all those sorts of things. So with the Thermomix, the best part about it is if you think of a juicer extracts the juice only. With the Thermomix, you're getting all the fiber, you're getting the whole part of the fruit. So whatever you're making, you're getting all of it. So all those health benefits. If you don't like a thick juice, you can always strain it. So Wendy's going to show us today straining through the rice basket, I think. But you can use a fine sieve if you wanted to make it a really, really smooth juice. But, you know, there's so many different options out there of the juices you can make. My son, for example, goes into his favourites each morning and he makes the breakfast berry smoothie. So if you haven't tried that one, he actually leaves out the orange juice, but that's a favourite of his. So, yeah.
And there we have it. I'm just taking the measuring cup out. Nice. All blended together. Nice and frothy. Now I am going to strain it. So I'm going to place my steamer basket, which we use for the rice and veggies occasionally, onto my lid and just going to pour that in. And hopefully this jug is big enough.
And another way you could actually do that is you could put the steaming basket into your jug and hold it there and pour it, and it would actually, strain it. Oh, so Wendy, this is Wendy's, I hope I'm not going to embarrass you, Wendy, but this is her first presentation that she's doing on the virtuals as a group. So, very excited that Wendy's here today doing this with us, and she's done a marvelous job. And look at that! And
there we go.
That beautiful lemony and ginger, and that's awesome. Thanks for that, Wendy.
That's right. If you do have any leftovers of this, you can also place it in an ice cube tray and pop it in the freezer for any future juices if you want an extra kick and an extra boost as well. Thank you.
That's a fantastic tip. All right, thanks, Wendy. Well done. And who are we going to next, Helen? Can you help us out there? Oh,
We're off to
Christine.
Christine.
Me. Hi, guys. Am I on mute? I have got a headset
No, you're
on.
not.
I'm good. I'm good to go. Lovely. Hey, guys. My first go-to. So I'm going to be doing the most delicious dish ever, nasi goreng. But it's my dinner for family tonight. And the one thing that I truly love about my Thermomix is it makes the prep for dishes such as this so much simpler. And I'm going to do it in the morning so that later on when I'm ready to cook it fresh, all the prep work is done. I just have to do the last few steps. So I have it stored into my cook today. So we're just going to do the first 3 steps. The first step has asked me to put a bowl onto my machine. This is brilliant. It serves as a scale so that I can pop my pre-cut chicken into the bowl. Now, it is a lot of chicken. It does say 400 to 500. I'm doing lots because, well, we're big eaters. So I'm popping it all in. And if I were going to the scales, I would stop now, but I'm chucking it all in.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? We can adapt any type of the cooking to our families. So whether we are small eaters, big eaters, small family, large family, you know, we don't have to follow the recipe.
Now, this is just going to be coating our chicken so that later on when I fry it up in a quick hot pan, we get some delicious flavors through. 1.5 tablespoons. Yeah, because you're looking, I'm going to measure a bit, but, and can I just say on a side note, made a dish last night and I free measured. Christine doesn't do well with chili and I'll be measuring chili from this point forward, trust me. Next.
Love it.
And here, classic example, I'm just holding it over there so I don't dribble all over. This is explained at 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of my fish sauce. And, see, spillage, don't care. And last, a little bit of corn flour, but I'm going to do that over here, okay? And then I will coat my chicken and it will sit there ready for me to fry up a little bit later. Here comes the fun part. All right. So now I've got, while we were listening to all those other delicious recipes, I've pre-chopped, not cut up, just peeled and chopped a few of the veggies required. A bit like you, Kerr. If it asks for 2 garlic cloves, I'll pop in 3. 2 centimetre fresh ginger peeled, so I'll chuck that in. And a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. Oh, but near enough is good enough. Right. 1 to 2 chilies after last night's chili moment. 1 chili, just chopped up. It didn't actually ask for it to be chopped up, but I was fussing. And measuring cup into the top. We're going to do 3 seconds at speed 7. Done. Now, wait for that to unlock. The best safety feature I've ever seen. Check that out. I didn't get any chili, garlic, or anything messy all over my hands. Delicious. Next, a couple of carrots. The flavor wafting out of that. So I've just loosely chopped my carrots. Now, for those who like to do these little chops by hand, yes, that's therapeutic, but I haven't got time for that anymore. I've got 2 4-year-olds. Celery stalks, just chopped up.
The general rule when you're chopping in the Thermomix, if you're not worried about the presentation of it, as Christine said, you know, you want matchsticks or anything like that, general rule is if it fits through the lid hole, it's okay. Yep, unless it is something super hard. So Parmesan cheese, go by the ice block rule. So no bigger than an ice block. But, you know, if you've got tomatoes, onions, those sorts of things, normally it's just chop it in half, chuck it in, you're good to go.
200 grams or thereabouts of cabbage, and I love doing this part too. So I'll pop my lid on, but I'm going to take my measuring cup out and I'm going to pop my measuring cup in, my spatula, and with its safety stopper, I can't destroy it. Next, we're doing 5 seconds at speed 5. Ready? How quick's that? Couldn't do that with a knife and a chopping board and get that result so quickly. It's just impossible. So again, what I'm doing today, right now, is I'm prepping, go back, for tonight so that I have a little bit more time with the kids. So the next step is to transfer my mixture into my varoma. This is where it's going to actually cook later on. It's going to sit on this top layer that sits on top of our varoma, which steams. Now, sorry, my camera angle, let's see if we can turn you down a little bit. Okay, I'll move back here. And our spatula. There we go. Vegetables all ready for steaming later. There you go.
Awesome, Christine. And can you explain to us, so we're going to be putting the chicken into the fry pan and doing all of that. And then you've got an egg on the very top. Could you tell us how you'll be cooking the egg?
Yeah, absolutely. So Kirsten was the brilliant person that put me onto this. It's a total game changer. So as soon as these vegetables are steamed later on when I cook them, I will transfer them into my thermoserve to stay lovely and warm. And then I'm going to give a quick rinse to this tray there. So this lovely dish here fits our gorgeous stainless steel tray that you can get from the mix shop. I'm going to lightly grease that and crack my eggs into there, pop that in the top of my varoma, and I'm going to poach a couple of eggs to go on top. So if you're not one for fried egg, you know, that hard bottom, and you like your eggs a little bit more runny, this is the perfect way to do them. And it is so simple too. So I can actually have it all going at the same time. Vegetables all sorted, eggs take a minute. For however long you want to actually have the finished product, you can fit about 6 eggs in there. So it's amazing. Thanks, Kurt. Awesome. That was the best tip.
Thanks. And you can also put omelettes, you can make omelettes in that steaming tray. For those of you that have a Thermomix, you can get that tray at the mix shop and it's not very expensive. And you can, if you've got people coming over and if you want to poach some salmon or chicken, and sometimes it gets those dribbly bits that it's quite annoying to clean, but you can put that tray on there and not have any of that mess. In saying that, everything goes in the dishwasher. So all of your stuff that you cook with in your Thermomix all does go in the dishwasher. So that makes it really handy as well. I'm going to head to the next step of my dish, which is adding in the pasta. So the sauce is cooked. It's nice and hot for us now. And it's asking for 250 to 300 grams of dried pasta. So you can just stick that through the top or however you like. It does ask you to break it in half. You could just pop it through the top and let it sink down into the sauce, but I'm popping this just in, and I'll show you in a sec. I've just popped it in, okay, like this. Now this sauce is normally red, remembering, but I used a green capsicum. So, and then you just push it down, just so the sauce is covering it, and it's going to cook in the sauce now. I will just pop that back up there. Down here. Hit next, and we're going to add in our salami. So this is where you could, if you wanted to, replace it with ham, replace it with chorizo, replace it with anything you like, or if you want to be vegetarian, leave it out. So I've just cut mine up into strips. I'm just chucking that salami in. The family love this particular dish, and there's so many variants you can do. You could, chuck in sun-dried tomatoes. You can do whatever you want. So I've just made sure that's all covered by the sauce as well. and pop it on. Hit next. And it's just told us to pop the lid on, and that's going to cook for, it says 7 to 10 minutes. So we have that time. So I'm going to change that to 10 minutes. And I am going, now you can see here, it's got a little arrow there, and that means that it's not going to chop our pasta up because the Thermomix blades have a sharp side and a completely blunt side. So when we turn it onto reverse, it is just stirring the pasta around. It's not actually going to be going on the blades. So we just turn that like so. Now, I don't believe that Jane would be finished. So what I want to do, Jane, yell out when you are finished, but I'm just going to quickly show you some cookadoo. So Helen, if you could swap us over to my other camera, and I'm just going to share the screen and just show, especially the people who don't have a Thermomix, I'm just going to show them a little bit of the cookadoo. And then Jane, yell out when you're ready.
I can go now, and then
Okay.
you can have just a straight run if you want.
Yep.
I'm ready to go. Okay, so while that has been cooking away, the aroma coming out of the Varoma is just amazing. I can't wait to try it. So, so the cooked chicken's cooked on the top. I'm going to take it off the top of the lid, just set it aside, and now I'm going to divide the soup between 4 bowls. Well, I'm not actually going to do that. I'm just going to stick it in to a saucepan at the moment because I have already used. Can you stop the water? Pancakes getting cooked in the background. So, yeah, I've already got my thermoserve with a butter chicken ready for tonight. So I'll just put this aside here. So it does smell spicy. So it will be interesting to see how this goes down with everybody. All right, so put that aside, and I'm going to show you how to shred the chicken. So I now put the chicken, just drain the liquid off. Okay, so I'm going to put the chicken back into the bowl. Click next, put my lid on my MC, click next, and it's 4 seconds. It's already gone on reverse and it's speed 4. Amazing when you want, you know, you're doing chicken sandwiches or you've got leftover cold meat from, you know, last night's roast to then make kids' lunches, but like you just wouldn't bother getting a fork, 2 forks out. 4 seconds, literally amazing. All right, so now we are going to just serve this up, and I'm just, right, so here we go. I'm gonna add our soup in. That's a very, it's not a thick soup at all, like it's quite sort of a frothy kind of soup. We're going to top with our shredded chicken. So we'll just grab some chicken. So it does say 4, you know, it really depends on how much, you know, portions you want to get out of it. We'll put that in on top. And now we're going to use some grated cheese. Now that was left over. We did pizzas last night. So that was grated cheese I just did in the thermo last night. So we'll put that on top. And we have got some sour cream that we will put on. I'm running out of. Okay, sour cream. Some avocado. We'll put some chopped avocado in, and some coriander.
And can you point the camera down just a teeny bit so I can see what you're doing?
But I don't want to show my messy kitchen, my messy bench.
Okay.
So there we go. That's the Mexican Tex-Mex chicken soup. I think I put all the.
Can you hold it up closer? Beautiful.
There you go. It smells so good. And you know what? You just like chuck a bit of lime on top as well.
It looks amazing, Jane.
It does look amazing. Like, honestly, yeah, looks like I've just been to a cafe, and there you go, lunch ready to go, and there's heaps left over. So, yeah, can't wait to try it. I'll let you know after Kirsten's done her cookie dough spiel.
Okay, so can you hear me on this one now?
Yep.
Hopefully you all can. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and just quickly take you through, just while that's finishing off, quickly take you through the cookadoo. But what I want to show you is, I'm not going to cut into the honeycomb just yet because it is still a little bit warm and you want it to be brittle, but I'm going to melt some chocolate a bit later and I'm going to dip it into the chocolate, which it's going to be amazing. But I'll just show you how it's turned out with the bubbles in it. So if you can see, look at that. Yum. So just a little bit of sugar for the afternoon. But yeah, really, really good. Anyway, let's get to cookadoo. What is cookadoo? So what you're going to see here, you can actually do on your machine, but I am going to be showing you on here just to make it easier. So let's have a look. We'll go share. So just give me a thumbs up if you can see the cookadoo screen now. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, so this is our main search engine. You can do a couple of ways that you search for stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pretend that we have chicken in the fridge. So we type in chicken. Remembering you can do this on your Thermomix. Then we do search. Now, cookadoo has now, so those of you that have had a TM6 for a while, you can preset your filters now. So if you haven't done that, go into your settings and you can see here, mine is open to Australia, Canada, the UK and the United States. It used to just filter to Australia, and if you haven't changed your settings, that is how it will still go, but you can change it. So if you speak another language, for example, you can go and have a look at your filters and see if you know, your country is there, and you could also put that in as well. But I've done all English speaking ones. So for example, the chicken and spinach lasagna, that's a favorite in our house. So let's say, yep, okay, I want to cook that. These three dots here, we click on it and we can choose to cook today. So when we turn on our machine, that will be the recipe that comes up for today. We could bookmark it. We can add it to a collection. So if you think of iTunes or Netflix, you know, everyone can have a, like I could put my hubby's, you know, favorites. I could put it into his collection. So he turns on the machine, he scrolls down to Dean's favorites and he could find that recipe in there. He is yet to start cooking in the Thermomix. I'm trying, but he leaves it up to me, which I think is a very smart move for him because it means he doesn't cook because he says, I don't know how to use it. And then we've got add to my week. So let's click on here and we will add it to Wednesday's cooking. So we can save that. Once you go through all your recipes that you found for the week, we can go into my week, have a look. So on your Thermomix, it will all come up. So here, clearly, all the recipes that we're doing today, you can see here. But if you're doing normal meal planning, I made that one this morning. That's awesome. If you love Up and Go or your kids drink Up and Go, this Grab and Go is very similar, but it doesn't have all the sugar in it and everything. And it's, you know, it costs nothing to make. So really good breakfast drink to have in the fridge. But anyway, so you've got all of your recipes here. And then you can start cooking from there. But it gets even better. This is where cookadoo is, I think, mind-blowing, especially for those in Melbourne. I think you are going to love this. So we've got here pulled pork burger. So that's the slow cooking function. It is a slow cooker. But let's say we have a look at that and we go, yep, I'm going to cook that on Monday, but I actually don't have the ingredients. So I'm just going to add that to my shopping list. So when we go into our shopping list, let's have a look at our shopping list. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. So if we go and have a look at our shopping list, we can either show ingredients. We can email, actually we'll do that first. So you can, there's a couple of ways you can view it. So you can print it up, you can put it on your phone when you're at the supermarket, you can tick it off. So just say, okay, I've got my fruit sweetener, I've got the apple cider, I've got white wine, always got white wine in my household. We've got the water, you know, you can tick it off as you go along. You can also, all the way down the bottom, you can add, so you might want shampoo, whatever, okay? That's your list, you can print it off. However, for those, especially in Melbourne right now, we are with Woolworths at the moment, so you can actually order your ingredients. So this will take you straight to another screen with all of your selections and the amounts that you need. So you've got here. Now, what it does do is it will choose a brand for you. That doesn't matter, that's okay. Because what you can do here is go, well, I don't want this particular brand of vanilla extract. So I'm going to look for what's on special, or, you know, a brand that I prefer. So you just go down and you choose the one that you want. So I would just go, yep, that's the one I want. And then you go to your cart, which is your normal Woolworths cart, and it's all there. That's very cool. The other thing that I will quickly show you is how you can look for recipes other ways. So you've got here, you've got your Explore. We just showed you how to look for ingredients, and you can layer those ingredients as well. So you can add capsicum, add, you know, so you can just hone down on a dish. If you click up here and do search, at the moment, we're doing a search by recipe. So you might look for chicken recipes or, you know, whatever down here. But what you can also do is go into collections. So these are all of our cookbooks. So if you're wanting to be inspired, but you're not really sure what you want to cook, you can just wander through and have a look at all of our different cookbooks, and something might take your fancy. So I have got 4 different countries up here. So you may see a few duplicates because we do, you know, do them throughout the different countries. But here are all of our cookbooks. So it is just an endless thing of inspiration for you. Then you can find one that you really love. Matt Sinclair, he does a really good wonton one. So you could click on there and go, yep, I'd love, here we go, wonton soup vegetarian, we'll do the pork one. So you could click in that. This one, if you haven't made the san choy bao, this is the best one, I think. So you could do, yep, we're going to cook today. Go and turn your machine on, it will be there. So that's how you can do your searching. I think my dish is nearly ready to serve up. So the other thing I will quickly show you is if we go into search, and I'll just show you guys what I was talking about, filters. So if we were to do chicken, sorry for the vegetarians out there, if we were to do chicken, but we wanted to change our filters and we only wanted a chicken soup. So I've got some chicken in the fridge and I want to make a chicken soup. So you can click on that. So it will just bring all the soups up for you. You could hashtag it gluten-free. You could hashtag it dairy-free. You can bring up all your tags and it would bring up just those recipes. You've also got, you can narrow it down to prep time, and you've got all your different countries here. You don't have to have a TM6 to have the cookadoo. If you've got a 31 or a TM5, you can save it to bring up only recipes for that particular machine. It just won't appear on your machine and you'll have to manually sort of swap between the two. And you've got all your different countries as well. For those of you that, you know, if you were doing a Mexican night, what you can do is bring up, say, the Spanish site, and then Google Translate, if you're in Chrome, will just totally change it all for you, and you'll be able to read it in English. So that's very cool. With regards to the American recipes, because I've got the United States up here, it is in ounces. However, the Thermomix is smart enough that it will weigh it in ounces, but to the right amount for you, although our metric system is different. But here's all the soups that it's brought up because I've put in, you know, it's just one of those things where you've just got so many options. The Thermomix gives you so many more options, and it gives you so much more inspiration, and you probably give things a go that you normally wouldn't do. I know that I found that when I got my Thermomix. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to show you how my pasta worked. So Helen, if you could just swap back to my other camera and we'll go there. So this is all finished now. It's not going to be beautiful and red because I use the green capsicum. However, I'll show you what it looks like. So I'll just move the honeycomb out of the way. So pop out some I serve there. So perfectly cooked pasta. And I'll pop it in here. So yummy. I love this dish. My family loves this dish. My glasses are fogging up. I can't see without them though. But look at this. And you can actually put a little bit more pasta in. I don't want to tip it, but how good's that? And that's all in one pot. And that pot goes in the dishwasher. So that's what we love about the Thermomix. So I think we have finished for the day. So we've finished on time. Is there anyone else that I need to go to? No?
No.
Excellent. Okay. So as we said at the very start, if you have enjoyed this, let the consultant know, because we love doing this as a team. And, you know, we want inspiration from you guys as well. So if you've enjoyed it, please let us know. If you don't have a Thermomix, please feel free to hang around if you have any questions. If you have any questions about the business and do what we do from home in our kitchen. So I've just worked today, now I'm going to feed my family. Very heavy lunch. But yeah, if you want to hang around, let us just stay on. But for everyone else, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed today. And our team will probably organise another one throughout the week, maybe. But thanks for coming, guys. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Carmel.
That looks awesome, Kerr. That's a favourite in our house as well.
Yeah, oh, it's so yummy and it's so easy.
I'm going to put that on the recipe on the list for next weekend. That looks yummy. And I reckon
Thanks,
you could
Sean.
add different things in, couldn't you?
Oh, you can add anything in, anything you want in. It's such an easy one. And I actually let it sit for a little bit longer in here. It does say to do that for 5 minutes. And, you know, and it makes heaps. Like when they say 250 to 300 grams, but you've got all those veggies of pasta, but you've got all those, all the veggies and everything in there as well, and the sauce, it makes heaps. Like that's enough. And my family eat a lot. So have we got anyone hanging around at all? So I might end the meeting.
One more. Okay, it's just us now.
Just us?
Yep.
Well done, guys.